there's other things that have been tricks and trades over the weight loss support group that I'm also part of. And I'm telling you that I've got some pretty good information off there too, for people who've lived through it and live through it every day. But I will tell you, the water, living through that water and then trying to consume a quarter a cup of food is very hard. You don't really want to do it, but you know you got to do it. And they will make you drink. They can't force you to drink, but they suggest you drink and you take your medication at the same time. So it's very rough. I will say one part, my potassium dropped, and so did my blood pressure. So, and I've never in my life had low blood pressure, so I knew something was not right. And I was right. Something was not right. So, anyways, potassium is disgusting. Anybody who's ever had to take potassium on its own, immediately have a little bit of water beside you, because I'm going to tell you, that is disgusting. It is gross, and I was told, you might want to drink this because another 40 minutes from now, I'm coming back with another one. And I had to do that 3 times, and it was gross. So I will just say, ew, 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 ew. Other than that, I think I'm just going to sit and relax here a little bit. Eric went out with the kids, so I can do this recording, because I don't like doing recordings, and I trust them. I just want to have them see me this way, and so I can think clearly without having distractions from the kids, not Eric. So, anyways, I'm not sure what other kind of questions you guys kind of had for me. I know you're kind of probably trying to think, what happened to her in the hospital? Like I said, this is the reason why Facebook is not where we're going to put all of our information. E&A Day2Day is where we're going to put all this information. Eric is doing a lot of editing over the last couple of days. He's had to be the main support for the kids, so you gotta bear with him. He's working full time as well and doing editing on his spare time. So it's taken a little bit, and then having to deal with me having surgery. So it's taken a little bit of time. I will say that going to the doctors, all these appointments, I'm actually looking forward to that. I won't get back to everybody. I know I'm not going to have the opportunity to be able to get back to everybody. But I will say I did do a little kind of bits of clips of myself in the hospital when I actually was able to do them. But I also was in a semi-private room, and people who live in Canada or anywhere else that actually offer private rooms and not, or sorry, semi-private rooms and not private rooms. I know in the States they offer private rooms for pretty much everybody because you pay for it, right? Here we don't. We get semi-private, so it's in like kind of smaller quarters. So I was on my own side, and it was pretty nice. I did like my neighbor. She was pretty good too. So we're both actually supporting each other and going through this when we were in the hospital. So other than that, everybody's been very supportive here. I've had all family members so far that I've, like immediate family members, have contacted me at least once, and has asked how I'm doing. I've had 2 people show up this morning to make sure, because of the issue that I had last night, or like over the last day I was in the hospital, show up to make sure that I am good. So emergency numbers were given and everything, just in case, to make sure that I'm okay. I had a rough sleep last night when I got home. Climbing stairs, I was kind of advised against actually climbing stairs for the first little while. I'm not sleeping on the couch. There's no way. I slept on the couch last night, and it's not even really sleeping. It's very uncomfortable. I will tell you, semi-upright position, for me, everybody's different. Everybody's going to go and experience things differently. For me, upright position is okay if I'm in like a semi-incline. As soon as I go to lay down, like physically lay flat, I don't lay flat normally sleeping anyway, completely flat because I sleep with a lot of pillows. So I'm going to tell you, it was rough here, and it was rough in the hospital too, sleeping in that type of position, because they want you flat they wanted me flat because of my one issue. And I had to lay flat for a while, and that was not comfortable at all, because anybody who's had the surgery knows you get gas pains, and when you can't get those gas pains out, and either way, you're going to hurt. And it was a lot of suffering that way. But would I go back and not do it? No. I would have still had the surgery. I can work through this. I can get through it. It's just a matter of getting through it. And seeing myself and recordings of myself, and then seeing the progression that's going to change with me over this time frame is going to be a big thing. So I don't know what else really to say. I don't know if anybody's, I can't bring anybody on camera because nobody's here. I know I just got a comment and I bring them on camera. I can't because nobody's here. Eric took the kids out just for a little bit. So they're not actually here. I know that I'm waving to everybody here to see, because everybody's waving at me. I'm not in, I'm only allowed taking children's Tylenol, which I will tell you, Eric knows this because I see part of him watching here. I will tell you that you're only allowed to have children's Tylenol. No Advil. You're never allowed to have Advil ever again, to make sure you don't get ulcers. And children's Advil, actually, doesn't matter what medication I take, I sleep. So they were kind of shocked about that a little bit. Because children's Tylenol shouldn't really put an adult to sleep. It just should just dull the pain that you have. No. I slept. Eric will be the one to first tell you firsthand. I take children's Tylenol and I'm out for the count. They were kind of bizarre that at the end, before I left, if they were going to give me a narcotic. And I told her, no, don't give me a narcotic, because that will put me to sleep until next week. So don't give me a narcotic. Children's Tylenol will work just great. No problems there. So, anyway, other than that, I'll tell you medication, because this is a big update, so just bear with me. I'm on linzaprazole. So that is a medication they prescribe to you afterwards, so that you do not get ulcers in your little pouch. So I had the rouxeny. People can go look it up. There's two that they offer in Canada. One's a rouxeny and the other one is the gastric sleeve. I chose and opted to get the rouxeny. And so with the rouxeny, it's a little pouch that's created. And in that little pouch, you can get ulcers if you don't take care of yourself. And maybe not take care of yourself. Sometimes it just happens. So they give you a medication. They ask you to take it so that you don't get ulcers. And so I'm on that medication. I just got prescribed that last night. And I'm on children's Tylenol in a tiny little bottle form. You can buy it over the counter too. I left the hospital with a tiny bottle too as well. So you might as well take it, because they're just going to throw it out. So I took it. And he gave me an eyedropper, and they give me a whole bunch of medications and a whole bunch of do's and don'ts. So that's a big thing, do's and don'ts. And so that's the medication right now. Monday I get my blood thinners. So anybody that knows blood thinners, there's two types. You can have it by pill form, or you can have it by injection form. Well, the lucky part to me, when you go through bariatrics, no pills. You get it injection form wise. And you get to self-inject yourself. So I've done this before. I don't need to go through a whole, trial and error to be shown how to do it. I know how to do it because I've had to do it prior, like I said previously. So that starts Monday. Sorry, it hurts to cough and it hurts to sneeze. That's one thing I will tell you. Hurts to cough, it hurts to sneeze, and it hurts to get gas up. So that's one thing you just got to kind of work through. I will tell you there is 6 different parts to where they took out. They had asked, not took out, that sounds bad. Laparoscopic, they asked for 6 different, well, they didn't ask me for it, but they asked me if they can't go through the incisions. I had my gallbladder out years ago, if they can make new ones. And I said, yep, absolutely, go ahead. So I have 6 new tiny, tiny little marks on my stomach of where they did it. I'm not really going to show you because that's a little private, but I will tell you that they're in kind of like an egg-shaped form on my belly in different areas. So the biggest one is by my belly button. And then where they did the actual surgery is right up here. So it's very tender. Most people would think it's down here in your belly. It's not. It's right here, right at the top. So it's more sensitive right there. And that's where you get your gas. Lucky me, right? Some people have the gas travel, like I was told, up into their shoulder and it stays there. And you can imagine having a pain so bad in your shoulder and you can't get it out and it's there. That's rough. I didn't get it there. I got it right in where they did the incision. So it's been really painful to actually bring up cough or do anything. I was able to have a shower though. That was enlightening. So no bathing for me. So I can't go into any sort of bathing and submerging myself for 3 weeks. So that's a little bit not nice. I like having my hot baths like most people do. Some people do, some people don't. Showers aren't my friend. I still have my bands on, by the way. I didn't take them off. And that's where I have my IV. So my second IV, my first IV didn't work. They went and said that my IV stopped working and tried to put saline in it to clean it. And I'm telling you, I never wanted to punch somebody in the nose so bad. That hurt so bad it burned. And so they had to give me, and I went and I had that, in my hand. So in this hand, you can't really see it. My hand's still puffy too, by the way. My arm is really, really puffy because they put it right here in my hand and that vein stopped working. And then they had to make a different part of my band over here on my left arm for a different part for my IV, and then they just added a different section so they were able to take blood out of there too, because I basically had no ways to giving them blood. They tried 4 different times on the one arm and 2 different times on the other arm, and I was done. I started to cry. I couldn't do it anymore. So she said, no, we're just going to add this in here so they could just take blood right out of the site. So that was perfect.